we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6:01 PM and we'll start with roll call.
Mary Ann Banks,
Here.
Natalie Drozda,
Here.
Ian Hurley,
Here.
Pat King, Tom Langston, Amanda Rost,
Here.
Tom Sufchuk,
Here.
Michelle Varnell, and JJ Zanetta.
Okay, then first order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from the last meeting on August 20th. They're in the packet. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the minutes are approved from last month. Up next is citizens' comments. So I do believe we have some people present that would like to make a comment. You'll have 5 minutes and you head up to the podium there and we ask you to tell us your name and your address for the record. And then we'll start the timer and you have 5 minutes to share whatever you would like.
You go first, ladies first.
Okay, thank you. Is that now?
Yep, go ahead.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can just head right up to the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharda Sangameshwaran. Do I need to spell that?
Yes, please.
First name is S-A-R-A, D as in David, A. And my last name is S-A-N-G-A-M-E-S-W-A-R-A-N.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My address is 274 Parkway Drive. So I'm here actually to talk about a proposal. I'd like us to propose that Mount Lebanon get the status of Birdtown, Pennsylvania. And here's why. Birdtown, Pennsylvania is a nonprofit. It actually is kind of a subsidiary of Birdtown USA. And there's actually about 15 townships already in our area that have this designation. The designation is actually a recognition for work that we are already doing here. So there's 5 areas that this designation focuses on, and I'm going to say how we already kind of fit the bill, right? So first is municipal actions, and clearly the municipality is doing many things that are green. Resiliency Board, our partnership with the Mount Lebanon Nature Conservancy being one of them. The next is education related to school and youth. And if you recall, the Mount Lebanon Nature Conservancy already does the School in the Park program where every 3rd grader comes to a free field trip in Mount Lebanon, in Bird Park, right? So that would apply. Community and individual engagement. Again, we have so many volunteer opportunities for people to come engage with us. And if I didn't say it, I'm on the board of the Mount Lebanon Nature Conservancy. I should have probably pointed that out earlier. The 4th area of focus is partnerships, collaborations. We clearly have a really strong collaboration with the municipality, but we also work with other nonprofits here like Lebo Green and Move Lebo. So those are already in place. And then there's engagement and advocacy. As you know, the municipality is already in Arboretum. So, already there's engagement happening in that channel. So I feel like we have a pretty strong case. And it's not just a feeling. I did reach out after talking to Laura Pace-Lilly and these gentlemen here. I reached out to Audubon, which administers the program, and I went through and I let them know all the different things that Lebo was already doing, and they thought that we had a great case. And so he was willing to kind of get this moving. So really, it's a feel-good moment for the municipality that we're doing all these wonderful things. Let's get recognized for it. If you want to know municipalities that are close by that are actually have the designation, one is Fox Chapel, where Audubon is located. That's no surprise. But the other one is Dormont. You can actually see the sign as you go up Route 19. So I feel we have a really strong case. I think it's going to be a feel-good moment for us, and I'd like us to do this. Just in terms of logistics, it's just $100 for that's a one-time payment. We do have to do a proclamation by the commissioners. After that, we put in an application. Every year, we would actually give a kind of a status report that we're keeping up our work. And that's kind of the sum total of what this is. So, and the Mount Lebanon Nature Conservancy is happy to actually help facilitate this process. So, thank you.
I'm familiar with this.
Go ahead and,
Working on the 5 minutes.
He's gonna do the stop or the timer.
Good to go. Okay, my name is David Egler. I live at 121 Poplar Drive. Help with the spelling, David?
Already memorized your address,
Yeah,
I've heard this before.
You've heard this before. Yeah, David knows I've been to many commission meetings on this subject related to the Pennsylvania Boulevard development. I've come here tonight to try to get some help from this board, to try to move this along a bit. A little bit of history. First, a little bit of history about me. I actually started working here back in the 70s, in 78. I worked here in finance. I was here for about 25 years, and I was a finance director before I left. So when this was put together, I was behind it. So it's been around since approximately 2000, okay? So it's been around a long time. At one point, it was up and ready to be done, and whatever commissioners at that time decided, let's push it back. And it's been pushed back 5 years ever since then. So like quarter century now, this has been pushed off. I've been trying my hardest, not days, not weeks, not months, but years, coming up here and speaking to try to get this moving along. If you look at the figures that are in here, at the last meeting and many other meetings, I've asked the question about the cost in here. What does that entail? Can you give me a breakdown? No answer. Don't get answers. Commission's not interested. So if they're not interested, they're not being given direction to give answers. Now, when I was here as finance director and I put these together, I told the staff and myself, if anybody from the public or a commissioner would ask a question, you better have the answer. If you don't, the next day I would have an answer for that person. That's no longer apparently the case in Mount Lebanon. You're just kind of ignored until you go away. Well, I've told them a year ago, I'm not going away. I've got the rest of my life. And I will keep at it, and I will keep at it. I will not give up. I've lived in this area for over 40 years. If you're familiar with the area along the LRT line, there's a right-of-way on each side. The area I'm talking about is on the upper side. There's about 6 houses right now, and then there's a development, I think it's called Poplar Grove Development, that's waiting to be done. I think about a dozen or so townhouses will be built there. Nice little development, and they'll put in a new roadway at that point. I said this would be a perfect thing at the end of that development to have a nice little walking trail along the right-of-way and the property there to acquire. I understand these properties, there's about 17 of them there, all tax delinquent. If you look up the ownership of these people in here, 50 years, some of them were over 100 years ago purchased, so they're all dead, okay? No addresses for anybody. The couple that are fairly recent, like 30 years ago, they don't live there. I've done the research, they're not there. The liens between the school and the municipality, I haven't updated it in recent years, but it's well in excess of $100,000 in just those liens, not county to county. I've asked the question on this breakdown, are you planning on sheriff's sale or eminent domain? Once again, can't seem to get an answer. Now, I did bring up about the cost and I was told about inflationary figures. Trust me, I know how it was done back in the day. You went from year to year and I would say, okay, increase it by 2%, 5%, whatnot, keep the numbers close. But usually after about 5 years of doing that, I would say, check back, get some good numbers, make sure that the numbers are good. Apparently they don't do that anymore either. So I questioned the amounts on here, land acquisition. When I checked with the solicitor back in my day, he said about $15,000 to acquire these properties. Take inflation in now, maybe 30,000. We've got 70 in here, and it cannot be explained to somebody in the public what breaks down that cost, and that's a shame. As far as construction material and such, first off, I see it as a two-phase project. The first thing is to acquire. That's the important thing. Get it in Mount Lebanon's name, and I'll get to that in a second here. I'm running out of time. Get it into Mount Lebanon's name. As far as doing any of the work and that related later, that can be done at any time. Those figures are way over. You know, planning and design, we're talking a walking trail through a steep slope. I can get a pencil and draw and say, here it is. The only property within here is a little bit of an issue is the Duquesne Light right away, and you could easily bypass that through the municipal right away. Construction cost, what? You're gonna put some wood chips down or such, what's that gonna be, a few $1,000s? Once again, these figures are way over. I kind of look at this and say, 132,000, I think 32,000 would be a more reasonable cost. I challenge the municipality to come up with something different, but they can't. Now, would anybody consider doing it for 32,000 compared to 132? There's a good chance, but once again, I'm trying to get some support. My last resort is going to the neighbors along there and getting them involved in the meetings, but I'm trying to solve that. Milo, let's say one more thing. We're script on that 5 minutes.
To turn this off.
Yeah, if you want, just a final statement is
Yeah,
fine.
just a final statement. One of the reasons why it's important to require this, just to give you a little history, about 25 years ago, the county tried to come in and develop that land along there. And I'm not gonna say what was planned on or anything else, but the commissioners had a fit, got it stopped, and then once they got it stopped, they dropped it. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, any other public comments?
Attendees.
Okay, we'll move on then to the chairperson report. I don't have a report. The commission liaison report, Craig Grella is not in attendance, so I can't imagine he has a report. So we'll move to the staff liaison reports.
You have mine in your packet there. North Meadowcroft, I'll just do big ticket things here. North Meadowcroft Park, waiting on railings and handrails. Seems silly because the court is beautifully coated, the nice new hoops are up, but there is a steep drop off of sidewalk and also a good set of about 7 or 8 steps coming down. We don't want to open the park without handrails and the proper safety. So we kind of bagged the rims to discourage anyone from jumping fences, but we are moving them back almost daily. So kids will be kids. So that's kind of how it goes. But that one's almost wrapped up. There's one, we're waiting on shipping of one more shade structure. There are 2 that go over the pickleball seating area. And then from there, we'll work in some amenities, for seating. If you ever drove by there, a lot of people bring their own, so maybe that might be welcome that it's a big 25-foot open spot. But so that one is going well. We'll have that wrapped up soon, hopefully before recess limits them to, hard surfaces, because right now school's able to go to the, down to the ball fields and the playground and everything, but come winter time, that's an important space for them. So we're in communication with them. Other than that, we're gonna kick off some invasive work. Done most of what I normally do in-house. The good news is a lot of these areas we've been paying a contractor to do, they're now under control, so we're gonna move on to some bigger areas. So Ron in the Conservancy, Ron Block, has given me some good field maps. So we're gonna tackle some bigger chunks in Twin Hills this year, which is always good. That's the idea of this, is to sustain and keep moving forward and, keep looking after these ones that we've conquered, so to speak. So I think we're in a good spot there. Anything comes up, let me know, as always.
Thank you for that. That's great.
Timing on the bathrooms for the field closures, remind me again what that is, just so I have.
It's always hard to do. It doesn't seem hard to do, but our main concern is those restrooms aren't heated. So to take a risk on a weekend where, yes, the daytime's 50, 60 degrees, but our overnights are below 32, finding that broken pipe on a Saturday, is not ideal. So with that in mind, I try to loop in baseball, softball, a couple more groups I've run across over the years, so they'll be looped in. But I basically watch the weather and work with our staff because I need our plumber to shut down the bathroom. So it's not just a switch or anything like that. It's a major process to winterize those 2 buildings. So kind of terrible answer,
Sure.
but as the weather goes, I'll keep
Well,
everyone in the
I'm
loop.
gonna throw a date out at you, November 8th, there's a tournament on the turf there.
Okay.
With lots of kids there all day, so ideally it's open then, obviously if it's not, it's not, but just wanted to give you that date, just so you had it in your head.
No, these are all, please, if
I
whoever's.
think once that date happens, the use of the field drops off pretty dramatically. I think you've got some high school baseball occasionally and stuff like that, but I think that's like the last big highly attended event at Cedar for
I think baseball and
the
softball,
Dixon
kind
bathrooms.
of like a fun Halloween pumpkin event down there.
Yeah, There's some other things that happen,
Yeah,
but
little things.
November 8th, I think, is the end of the fall sports season.
Yeah, if we can accommodate them from having the manpower available and the weather will continue to accommodate.
I'm crossing my fingers for the weather also. Okay, David,
The pool's been shut down for the season. Construction on the filter replacement project should be beginning the 1st of next month. Tennis bubbles go up this weekend. And we had a very successful father-son camp out in Bird Park last weekend.
the pickleball courts on the front corner are moving along, I can see,
They are.
from driving by 17 times a week or whatever I drive by there. What's the completion date, or what does that look like?
We don't have a hard date yet, so the steps, the asphalt's down. That has to cure for 28 days. I don't know what day we're on, but maybe we're on 14.
Yeah,
Before the coating can go on. We also have to get up fencing. And then, nets, posts, and just restoration of the outside. Plus, we have the lighting project going on right now. They're trenching all around there too. So it's really just sort of up in the air, and, where we are in the season, it's still quite possible we won't. And the coating, by the way, to put the coating down, it needs 50 and rising. So it's quite possible we won't be on these courts till next spring. I'm surprised we're this far along. I've always felt like the start date would be next spring. It is possible, late fall.
if we keep having weather like we've
If
been having.
it keeps like this, yes, it is possible, but things are in good shape. So it's possible, it's possible. Darren has done a lot of work, as well as Megan Foster putting together programs. We have a fee schedule that we've put together that's in the 26 budget. If we open in 25, we'll just get the manager to approve that prior. So things are in place. We just need the facility to be completed, and then we'll roll it out.
It's fun to see the progress.
Yeah, it's
After
exciting.
all these years about talking about pickleball.
It's gonna be huge.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the subcommittee reports, Arboretum's subcommittee. Do you guys have anything?
So I think for our Arboretum tree event this year, I would like to just do an ask a landscape architect or ask a master gardener event at one of our farmers markets. I looked, and I think October 18th might be the last one. Is there a way that, who should I contact? Do you know who I should contact to get?
For farmer's market?
Yeah,
Eric Milliron.
okay.
The last meeting, though, I thought, Phil, you were gonna check to see if we could postpone the tree thing. Did that change?
We did
So
send
we-
an email
we-
to her,
Oh, okay.
and I think she sent it back. I think I put both of you on it with Sue. So she did respond,
I missed that.
and the answer in short was to continue to have an annual event.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, but it doesn't have to be a tree giveaway every year.
No.
So I think the annual event will be an ask a table, and then plus with the Nature Conservancy's annual meeting and talk is also a tree event. So we are doubled up, we're good,
There you go.
we're covered. So
I would put that if you're gonna get, if the farmer's market thing, you find the right date, if you can do that Lebo alert, if you can get on there.
yeah, I
That
was gonna
flashes out to
contact
people,
somebody.
I would definitely try to advertise that a little bit, so people, that might get more people to the farmer's market if they know they have some. I feel like people have questions and they'd ask if they were walking past, but if they're not going, it
Yeah.
might drive people to the farmer's market.
Yeah, so, okay, so for the Lebo alert, is that, if I contact, you said Eric
Milliron.
I'll send you a meet and greet email.
Perfect, okay, and then the Lebo alert thing, is it the same people, or?
I think that's someone else.
No, it's a municipal service, so Eric could do it, I could do it.
Okay.
We might ask Laura Lilly to do it as the, communications
That's the
person,
thing
but
that I
They have
know.
an email that goes out too.
Yeah.
Is that weekly email or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
every week?
the e-newsletter is mine, and I can put that in there. I did that for the tree event last year as well.
Right.
So yeah, I can give you some publicity through my department also.
And the Nature Conservancy, I would imagine, has a distribution list. We could advertise that way as well. I just would try to do a couple easy, basically it's an email and it gets out there.
So the October 18th farmer's market, I think, is the last one that they have.
Okay.
So that's fine for me as a date, so I'll contact them, see if that works for them. And then we could start planning for trying to figure something out a little earlier for next year, maybe in the spring tree giveaway or something like that, but we'll start working on that now too, so.
All right, trail connectivity and mapping subcommittee. Anybody have anything for that?
Nothing new and official other than, I think it was last month that
Yeah.
we did a lot of trail work. The Conservancy got a lot of, well, relatively speaking, a goodly amount, way more than I had expected, trail work done in Twin Hills, which is sorely needed because I've been busy with the Bird Park and the riparian project over, in Bird. And so, and thank you, Phil, for all the wood chips.
Yeah.
When I drove up there about 7:30 that Saturday morning, an expletive was issued because there seemed to be a whole bunch of wood chips.
Too
and I
many
was-
wood
I kinda
chips.
freaked, but we got them all in. That was good.
Is there any discussion from the gentleman who spoke earlier that you want to talk about, considering that had trail connectivity, the proposal
Yeah,
at the
well,
beginning?
I mean, we had talked about that idea anyway, so it still fits with their goals right now, and I know that, was it Move We Build It cleared a trail back? Not right there, but in that area, so.
Where is it? Help me figure out where it is.
Can you help us with
By the
Pennsylvania
Poplar
Bull-
Tea Station.
Okay,
Yeah,
So heading towards Castle
basically
Shannon.
parallel to
It
Castle
ends
Shannon
at the
Boulevard.
First Commonwealth Bank
It's
on
just,
Hanover Boulevard. It ends right there.
It parallels the T line, basically. You could walk from Poplar Station almost to Castle Shannon Station, essentially.
yeah, so,
I was gonna, I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna bring it up in new business, and thank you again for your presentation, because I know we did talk about it last year, and I think it probably came up in the Old Parks Advisory Board. So I would certainly be willing to add that to, as a project or the project for this year's trail connectivity and mapping subcommittee. And that ties in with the issue of the, not abandoned properties, but the God knows who owns them properties issue, which we also came up against in the last year or so in Williamsburg Park, where in order to put in a rational trail, there are some, I forget the legal or official term, but they're parcels that can't be developed because they're kind of inaccessible and, they're
Are they privately owned or
I think
just?
we think they're privately owned, but they're not,
Tax delinquent properties?
I don't know that.
Wasn't that the
Yeah.
property off of, by Brafferton? Is that the piece of the property that you're speaking of?
I don't think so. This is.
Closer to Williamsburg.
This is in Williamsburg Park up, you go up the hill. If you take the trail such as it is, over the bridge and up the hill, it's really precipitous and dangerous and badly eroded. And I forget the name of the street that dead ends there, but
There's a couple.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of them, you could lay out a nice, safe, rational trail. And Ron Block looked into it last year, and the details elude because I'm old and forgetful. But there were like 3 or 4 small parcels that, are just sitting there, and I don't know if the owners know they own them, because they're probably somebody's great-grandmother or somebody. Anyhow, so a year or so ago, I think we talked briefly at least about some movement or some project of this board or the municipality to look into, ways to figure those sorts of things out and move forward with them.
Well, I think with the subcommittee, correct me if I'm wrong, David, but you can bring in people that are not on the board as advisors and people. So if you want to connect with David, he sounds like a person who would know about the project he brought up, but he may also be able to help with properties you're talking about, figuring out what
Yeah,
the story is there.
Very much so.
And we could go to the commissioners with a recommendation about both projects, one or the other or both, depending on what we determine. But it sounds like exactly in line with what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And one of the goals we have for this year, one of the priorities we have for this year.
I very much agree, and as David said, the first step, let's get the property acquired by the municipality if we can, and then it's safe. And,
Right.
This next year's budget or the year after that is it's important, but, we can worry about that down the road.
And did we have a line item in the budget, or I know that was one of our list of priorities, but I don't know that we had we didn't have a specific project in mind at the time of putting that budget down, but I thought we had trail connectivity as one of our,
Oh, like
Priorities.
a capital,
I think we also had land acquisition as part of
as part of that. I just don't remember, I just know it was on our list, it was on our top 10 list,
I think there was something in there for trails, I have to.
but I don't
take a
remember
look.
if we had a dollar amount, because I don't know that we had any specific projects with dollar figures, we just had the goal of wanting to dive into that.
Well, related there too, but somewhat different, and Phil, correct me if I am wrong here, but I think there is movement towards a modest line item for trail maintenance, moving forward as a regular activity.
It's in there as an expanded service level right now with, I think, a good enough description to say that this is a multi-year continued effort and then repeat sort of thing.
Yeah,
So I think the way I wrote it up would agree with where your head's at with it.
great.
So I found that on the list, it's 96,000 and it's titled Trail Connectivity and Maintenance / Park and Field Maintenance Equipment. Incorporate established standards to reconstruct current trail systems to withstand traffic and natural elements. Beginning phase focuses on the most utilized and heavy trail segments, with future years expanding across system loops and side trails. Goal of the project is to create connectivity through the entire park system, etc. There's a lot after that. Phil must have wrote that one.
Might have been.
Sorry, buddy.
Okay, so my point to that is that it should be on the commissioner's radar because we have brought it up in what we have recommended to them, so at
It
least
is.
that is a start in the
It's
whole
under the
process.
manager's review right now. He's starting to look through the recommended budget from each department. So
Okay. So we're a little bit ahead of that.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else with that? We'll move on to old business. The Youth Sports Organization Oversight Umbrella Organization, I don't have an update on that. I did send an email without getting a response, so I'm gonna follow up with that this month again and try to move forward a little bit on that. Proposal to rename Middlefield, we haven't seen Tom in a while. Is there anything any updates on that?
I have nothing.
Yeah, I haven't heard from Tom either. Concept to combine a new recreation center with a new stadium. That's Patrick's baby, if you will, and he is not here, so I don't think we have an update on that either.
Just real quick on that, it's related there too. Could you remind us where the revisions to the parks, the rec center or the main parks master plan?
Main Parks Master Plan.
you mean a rec center renovation or
Well, I-
something from the
There
Parks
was,
It's been a while. I
the
forget
one
about that. There
the
was
one
a
we're waiting
study.
on is the rec center
Yeah,
recommendations.
because there was a study and then the administration and or the commissioners had some issues with that and it was going back for further work and that was like last spring or,
Yeah, I think the study's complete. I don't think there'll be more work on that. The commission had 3 options to consider. In the CIP, which, this is a page out of it, I put a rec center project in there that was consistent with the option B and used the budget numbers from the consultants. So that'll be in the CIP, well, it's in the CIP now, so for the commission to consider.
What's the top line of option B? Like what is, like, give us like a
It's a renovation and smaller expansion,
of the
so
current rec center.
no separate building. So it'll be modest increases in facilities with a big focus on ADA improvements, renovating, freshening up all the
What's there?
finishes and things, improve storage, improve traffic flow, just generally update that facility.
But there's not a lot of expansion in terms of facilities.
Not a lot, but we would likely go into that plaza area in front of the building because that's where we have the most room to work, I think.
Okay. So you might pick up some meeting room spaces
And
or,
a couple stories, so it might have a fitness studio on the second floor or something like that. And then just rework the second floor, likely move the second floor offices downstairs and consolidate us into one office space, so then you would have some more space upstairs to work with as well. So it's a full, pretty much gut the second floor and then addition and then fix everything, elevator, stairs, And again, this is all conceptual at this point, and there's nothing has been funded, so that's where we are.
but that was your recommendation to them based off of that project?
Yeah.
And that project is in our, because I think we talked about this last month and you had put it in the proposal from the consultants with the 3 options is in the the shared drive for us, right?
I think I put stuff in there for you, yes, and then the CIP itself is on our website under official documents. You could look at the entire CIP there for the next 5 years.
Does that answer your question?
yeah. I'd forgotten it was up there. I need to go look at it.
Yeah, same. Okay.
One other old business item, and kind of old business, in reference to someone putting up a no trespassing sign at the end of Youngwood, which is a private street, we realize. At one point, I thought Gateway was going to do some sort of fancy GIS analysis of where the property lines actually are of Bird Park and Youngwood. Is that ever happened, or do we need to pester them again?
That would require funding. I think it was through LiDAR was their recommendation, that it wasn't quite the gold standard, but it would get you close for argument of, is your shed in the park, is it not? Is your trampoline in the park, is it not? We'll put that back on and I'll have update for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then the last thing on the old business listed here is the dog park research. Anything with that? I don't think there is. Okay, new business, I think we talked about the project here, and we want to go back and visit the Birdtown USA recommendation.
Yes.
I think it sounds like a no-brainer. I think the best thing is for someone to motion to recommend that we do this with the Nature Conservancy.
I would motion that we do this.
Okay, anyone want to second the motion?
Second.
And then all approved? Anyone opposed? Okay, so David, we'd like to, if you need official wording, we would like to propose to the municipality that we seek status of the Birdtown, I guess it's not USA, it's Pennsylvania. And,
Is it PA or?
it's PA,
Okay.
right? Isn't that- That's right.
Yes,
I
I
was
think I
listening.
wrote USA too.
It was, I wrote down USA and then I wrote down PA also. So I think that requires that $100 entrance fee. I think the Nature Conservancy would handle the paperwork, but they need approval from the municipality, the commissioners to do it. And
Yep. Fund and pursue Birdtown PA designation. Is that correct?
yes.
Okay.
And what do we need to do? So if, with Craig not being here, will he see
I
the
submit
minutes?
it. I'll
You submit it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be
I just
taken
wanna
care
make
of.
sure it doesn't get lost in the shuffle
Yeah,
with him.
they have their own sort of shared document that has all the recommendations from all the boards. So that's how they track this.
Okay.
So I will make sure
Make
it's
sure
on
it
their
gets in front
form.
of them. Okay,
Are
great.
there any ongoing requirements or things that need to be done to keep that status?
I'm assuming.
Can I speak? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the requirements are simply that once you get the designation, so first the commissioners need to make a proclamation. Apparently that's part of the requirement, $100. We submit our application, they talk about it in Audubon. And then every year, if we get accepted, they give us a sign to put up. And then every year, we do a status report. What's exactly in the status report, I'd have to look it up. But it's really about what progress has been made in this thing. And there's different badging levels. So everybody starts out in green, which is the lowest level. But then you can do stuff like if the municipality decides to only do native trees. I'm just giving an example off the top of my head. Then we'd get a certain number of points and then we could go up to like bronze or whatever. So that's it.
It sounds like anything that would be ongoing, we're already doing.
It's already
Just like we're
aligned
already
with what
doing.
we're
It's-
doing.
Between the Nature Conservancy, the
Arboretum.
municipality, the arboretum, we're
Yeah.
doing all of the things that we would
Yes.
need to do. So I don't think there would be additional
Other
things
than-
moving forward other than the things we're already doing. Okay,
Got it?
and then Natalie, I think you had another item.
Oh, yeah, I did. Another for new business, so with the Nature Conservancy's, park days, everybody kind of contributes their own tools and passes them around and then, loses them. And I think that would be really beneficial for us in the future would be a shed. Maybe at Public Works, if you have space for an actual shed that we would be able to keep our equipment and tools and various stuff so what I'm requesting is a shed for the Nature Conservancy at Public Works.
You need a hub.
A hub, yes, we need a place to put our school in the park stuff for various tubs and bins of tools and something that is a good central access point so people aren't saying, whose basement is this thing in? And we get them all in one place, would be really nice. So, that's a request.
Is there something that already in existence that they could, do you have an empty closet? Do you have a?
Do you have an empty, yeah?
An empty,
See my garage.
yeah. Empty
Now,
spot.
let me kick it around,
Okay.
talk with my director and the superintendent down there.
Okay.
It is a pretty, I'm not necessarily sure that, not being a downer here, but not necessarily sure that Public Works would be the spot that we'd want you running in and out of through different times, because I know you all work different times and stuff like that. There's plow trucks flying through there. There's now a fire training facility down there now where, other municipalities are coming to train. There's a lot going on down there. We offer spots for contractor laydown, and different things like that. So probably not in your best interest to be going down there to get a rake and ended up having a plow go through the side of your, mirror. So, but everything can exist.
As there are sheds, just from a field perspective, like at Dixon, there's two big sheds that are right between Dixon and Cedar Field that the sports use for their storage, because we have the same things.
Yeah.
Everybody's got nets and balls and bins and
Yeah.
yada yada. So I get that. But maybe there's a a park or a something that we could put up some kind of structure, and if that,
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'll
I mean, it
I'll
could be
drive
any,
that
it
with
could
you.
be really anywhere in the
Yeah.
municipality, you just need to find a spot, just like the field people have found spots to store stuff.
We just need a spot that we can,
And they have like, I know for like just, and again, as an example, there's a lockbox on that with a code, it's a coded lockbox to get into the one at Cedar and Dixon, and the people that need to know the code, and it works really well. It's a pretty cooperative effort, so I'm sure we can figure something out. And if you find that you need the funding or a recommendation or whatever, we can just bring it back here and make that, if we need something official done, for sure, we can get the support through us.
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else have any other items of new business? Okay, well then, we'll announce the next meeting is Wednesday, October 15th. I'm not sure where September has gone. 6 PM, it'll be available on Zoom and in person. And I think that's it. So we will motion to adjourn at 6:42. Another under the hour meeting. Yes.
You get to be chairman for life.